Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Progressive Spiritualist Church this morning. How about some lights? Let's get some lights. Let's get started. We're welcoming feminine energy today, just to give you a clue ahead of time. So, our call to worship today comes from Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, from one of her lessons, Be Love. When you want to hate, be love. When you want to judge, be love. When you want to fight, be love. And when you want to be right, be love. Wrong. Thank you all. Now, if you will help us begin the service with singing hymn number 31. We're going to sing all 4 verses. So everybody stand and remain standing for the invocation. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm going to sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing, and obey the Spirit of the Lord. Infinite intelligence, thank you for this glorious day. We gather today to celebrate and connect with your infinite love and light. Open our hearts and minds to the healings and blessings from Creator. We now ask that the veil be parted so that we may raise our vibration to be closer and to communicate with Spirit. Thank you for being with us. Amen. Amen. All right, please be seated. I'm going to invite you all. It's time for the healing prayer, and I invite you just to get settled in your chairs and take a deep breath. Close your eyes. See yourself as a center of love and light shining down. And at this time, if there are relatives, family, friends that are in any kind of need of healing, whether it be physical or mental or spiritual, now is the time to send that energy out. And if you want to say their names out loud, that's okay. I invite you to do so. And our healing prayer today comes from Buddhist rituals, messages from Mother Earth. May I be a guide for those who are lost, a beacon of love for those seeking hope, a calming bridge for those overwhelmed by the raging river. May I be a set of warm arms in the darkness, a healing, compassionate presence for the wounded hearts, a luminous, love-filled lamp showing the way in the chaos, profound medicine for those sick in spirit and physically. May I be a vase of joy and plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of those in the human realms, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and sky and ancient stones until all are free from illusion and sorrow, and awaken to the great web of sacred seen and unseen ones that encircle our most sacred earth, to find their way back to the great mother's heart and the womb of creation, to heal into the oneness of the new earth. Amen. Amen. Wasn't that beautiful? Okay, now let us welcome to the platform our Reverend Kandy Kendall, who will be delivering our spiritual lesson for the day. And to welcome Kandy up here, we're going to sing. That's what it says here. You didn't let me get it out. It's like hymn 13, verses 1 through 5, Amazing Grace. They're little verses. Let's all stand up, welcome Kandy, and sing. saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Oh, wow, I love that song. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for getting out of bed on this rainy day. So I feel like this is the third part of a wonderful series of sermons we've had, right? 2 weeks ago, Michelle Euler stood here and talked about the resurrection of Jesus and what it meant for him to forgive those that he said they know not what they've done to me. About forgiveness and to resist with love. And I took that, resist with love, for all of us who are out there now protesting, praying, resist, bring love into it. And then last week, Veronica stood here and talked about the service of Jesus and what he did when he walked this earth plane and how he told us and showed us that we are to take care of those that have least than us. That whatever you do for the least of them, you do to me. He was upset with the moneylenders in the temple. He accepted the Samaritan woman at the well. He taught us equality, love everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. And then on top of all of this, we lose Pope Francis, the man who probably was so much like Jesus himself, right? Who had so many different sayings, so many quotes that we all say, oh, remember when Pope Francis said this? But I like when he said, you pray for the hungry, and then you feed them. That's what prayer is. And I thought, every night I say my prayers, please find shelter for the homeless. Please feed those that are hungry. But I need to take food to the food pantry, don't I? I need to be of service. I need to be more than just words. I need to be actions. Amen. Actions, service. Both Jesus and Pope Francis practice what they preached to us, right? To be of service to each other, accept each other for who we are, not for who we love, not for the color of our skin, not for our religion, not for where we come from, but just to love each other for who we are and where we stand right now today. Something's happened to our compassion. One of the billionaires just recently said, the fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. Empathy, the one thing that makes us feel and take care of each other. How can that be? How can that be what hurts our Western civilization? It's the opposite of those who are just, it's all about me, me, me. They're the ones hurting our Western civilization. We must understand and feel what each of us is feeling and understanding. So I'm one of those older people who still look at Facebook. And I don't know, there's just because of this lack of compassion, right? All of a sudden, here's Dumbo, right? Oh my gosh. Remember the story of Dumbo? He's got the big ears, he's in the circus. The kids at the circus are making fun of Dumbo. The mother's screaming, leave my baby alone, leave my And what happens is the mom's taken away from Dumbo, who sits there with tears flowing down his face. And in the end, they are reunited, but still, we are so traumatized by that, right? Because we look different and they're making fun of us, then we lose the one person that loves us. When did we stop feeling so deeply for each other? As kids, we see suffering and we care. We don't ask whether, oh, that's just the way it is. Oh, they deserved it. We don't as kids. We think of what we can do to be kinder and gentler. And we cry for the animals that are hurt We cry when the trees are cut down. We cry when Mother Earth is ripped open for her essential minerals or extracts that we need. And we get angry when our neighbors are pulled from their home because they go to their immigration appointment and are taken away. This is unfair. And yet society has told us, oh, quit being so sensitive. My husband tells me that all the time. Quit being so sensitive after he's offended me. I can't. We're all empaths in this room, and we're all very sensitive. But I'm not going to buck up. I'm not going to bite the bullet. I'm not going to say, well, that's just how life is. We are told that we have to accept what we know is wrong. We're now being told that autism is a disease, not a genetic disorder. We're being told our transgender community should not exist. We are being told by the governor of Indiana that gay marriage never should have been allowed. What? And that's where we find ourselves today, being told to accept what is wrong. But like Jesus, I won't, I can't, and I know that you won't and you can't either. Amen. We have to resist with love. We have to find that kingdom of justice that Veronica spoke about, that Pope Francis spoke about. Justice is the public face of love. We lost truly a spiritual person when Pope Francis passed. And I don't know how many of you saw some of the clips of his funeral, but how many of you saw the French nun, Sister Genevieve, breaking protocol, standing there, crying her eyes out because her Pope is gone. A French nun. This wasn't just grief. She was sad, but this was presence. This was the divine feminine breaking through again, once again, in the most unexpected of places, right? A male-dominated clergy only, where she wasn't supposed to be. And she moved not with force, but with love. This is what the feminine, the divine feminine looks like when it's in power. It's not aggression, not loud, but unwavering love. Open, vulnerable, deeply powerful. Sister Genevieve, the divine feminine, Mother Mary, who stands at the cross of her son, Mary Magdalene, who is at the tomb when the stone is moved away, Goddess Kali, a prominent figure in Hinduism, manifested as the mother goddess herself. Balance is everything in this world. Everything, right? But right now it seems like we have a lot of masculine and patriarchal energy everywhere, beating on their chests, where the powerful men are saying, oh, well, we want more, and we're going to take it for those that have the least. We need to invite the divine feminine into our spaces right now. Yes. And for those of you, the divine feminine is not about masculine feminine. It's about in here. It's about the yin and the yang. Yes. It's about Mother Earth and Father Sky. It's about compassion, aggression. It's what we all live with. But the divine feminine refers to that energy that exists within and without, that is softer, right? Nurturing, intuitive, and empowered. Ancient societies had many matriarchal rulers, priestesses. And we see, right, in Mexico right now, a woman physicist is their leader. The woman that leads the EU is a woman. These are divine feminine power of kindness and love, not of, you're going to do what I say because I'm the male. The earth herself is our great mother. And women's power is intrinsically linked to Mother Earth. I know many of you know about Atlantis, right? The country that's, maybe it was a continent, I don't know, that sank. They think right now that it might be off of the coast of Gibraltar under the oceans. They think it might be Atlantis. But Atlantis was ruled by Master Lady Rasha and Master Lady Portia, and they worked with crystals. Their power was trying to solve the DNA and put it into the crystals for genotyping. This is in Atlantis. This is what feminine energy does. It goes forward. It lifts us all up. Kuan Yin, our beautiful Kuan Yin, the Buddhist figure, representing compassion and mercy, and is known as she who hears the cries of the world. Feminine energy, divine feminine energy. Lady Lilith, right? The ancient goddess of independence and spiritual ascent, the first wife of Adam, made from the clay, who said, I will not be subservient to you, and left. Lilith, yeah. Lady Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of wealth, prosperity, and good fortune. And Mother Mary, right? Mother Mary embodying the virtue of motherhood, love, compassion, dedication. And Mary Magdalene. Didn't she get a bad rap?
She did. Yes, ma'am.
Mary Magdalene was, her family was very rich. Her father went from around the countryside in caravans selling emeralds and rubies. And Mary Magdalene said, I am not going to stay at home, Mom, I'm going with Dad. And on one of her travels, the caravan stops, they go down by the water, and she meets Jesus for the first time. Years later, she meets Jesus again, and they fall in love. The Gnostic Gospel talks about how Mary Magdalene was the #1 disciple of Jesus, and Jesus wanted to leave his ministry to Mary Magdalene. Of course, wasn't allowed to, because I don't know if it was John or Paul, one of them said, but what about me? And then the Nicene Creed in 325, a bunch of old white men, well, they weren't white, they were back then, they decide that Mary Magdalene must be a prostitute, and we're just going to take her out of the Bible. Divine feminine. We now know we now know that Mary Magdalene stands before us as Master Lady Nada. So rather than this hierarchical power of the kings and power over all, we need the queen energy of empathy, power shared, and the subtle but invincible power that comes from within. As I said, balance is everything in this world. And right now we seem to be running very high on masculine and patriarchal energy. So we need to invite the divine feminine in each of us to rise up. It might sound all mystical, ooh, the divine feminine, but it's already within you. You were born with the divine feminine, just like you were born with those masculine traits that you have. And for years and maybe centuries, we have repressed the feminine energy. It's been overshadowed, it's been pushed back. But it's time that we release the subtle wisdom that's inside and find the softness, the intuition, and the healing that we hold in our hearts. Understanding the divine feminine and finding ways to awaken her is to bring it into our daily existence and help us all connect with each other and with Mother Earth. In this moment of Sister Genevieve and the divine feminine at Pope Francis's funeral, the story continues. We can see what has always been. The feminine, quietly, fiercely, lovingly present, She who will not be silenced. She who will not stay hidden. She is here. She's always been here. And she is the sacred thread that is running through all of us, all through the unbroken parts of it all. And you are the sacred thread that needs to weave the fabric of society back together. We must let our feminine energy rule us. Integrity is important, yes. Kindness, courteous, compassion, looking out for one another brings us a new world. And every week when we sit here as mediums and bring you your loved ones from spirit, I mean, it's a wonderful thing that we do, but what are we showing you? We're showing you you better be living a good life right now because people are watching. Spirit knows what you're doing. Some believe that there are 7 levels of heaven. And the more that you are godlike on this earth level, meaning you love everyone and you accept everyone and you're of service, the closer you are to God when you go to heaven. Think about that. Us connecting with your loved ones, it's not showing us that we're all that in a bag of chips. What it's showing you is that you are important. Your life matters. And what you do here is how the lords of karma will receive you. So how do we awaken the divine feminine within? Well, I've got 3 things you can do. First one, self-love. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably our hardest one. I mean, I can love all of you, but myself, I got all my problems. Start with daily affirmations, right? Everyone knows daily affirmations work. Write 3 simple sentences and say them 3 times. I am strong. I am helpful. I do good deeds. I am strong. I am helpful. I do good deeds. I am strong. I am helpful. I do good deeds. Whatever. And you can change them. You don't have to keep them. But make 3 affirmations that you say every day and believe. And let that negative energy, that negative voice inside of you that somebody else put there, because God certainly didn't put you to be a negative person. If you think negativity is because somebody has told you that, let it go. Number 2, forgiveness. Another big one. Acknowledge your feelings. Man, I can stay in my head all day and not even listen to what my heart wants to say. But you've got to look inside for your answers. How do you actually feel about something? Get in touch with your divine feminine. Forgiveness can come in 1,000 different ways, but forgive yourself. I'm not saying you got to forgive that ex-husband. I'm not saying that, but you've got to forgive yourself for beating yourself up because you married a loser. It doesn't matter. The way they acted towards you, that's their life energy. That's what they have to work on. What you need to do is just forgive yourself and move on. That's the lessons. As long as you take every mistake, every problem with it's a lesson learned, then you're gonna do great. Forgive yourself. And relax. Number 3, relax. Self-love, forgiveness, relax. And what does relax mean? Well, maybe it's mindful meditation. Maybe it's contemplation. Maybe it is just sitting with your own feelings and seeing what you feel and hear, what is rising up within you. But take time to shut off this outside world and listen to what is within. You know, people talk about caterpillars and, they just become beautiful butterflies and they put wings on and aren't they great? But caterpillars dissolve into a disgusting pile of goo before they become a butterfly. And if you're messed up right now, You keep your cocoon on. You keep your blanket on. I am not asking any of you to step out of your comfort zone today. Maybe next week. Maybe later. But realize we are all powerful children of God. We all have the Elohim, that breath of God in us. That's how we started here on this earth plane, with God in us. So I leave you with embracing that divine feminine into your life by rooting in mindfulness, making small changes, and committing to a simple practice of being aware, of nurturing. People need nurturing. You need nurturing. Of loving and your intuitive energy. Be in the kingdom of justice, emphasizing righteousness for all. Fairness and the well-being is a reflection not only of God and the divine feminine, but you in all your glory and your wisdom. Stand up. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for those who have less than you. Stand up for the animals, the plants, the minerals. But stand up and let your divine feminine flow. Thank you.
What can I say? And the biggest thing that I heard in there was, I take responsibility for my actions and then I forgive myself.
Yes.
I take responsibility for my actions and I forgive myself. Whatever else. Thank you all. Thank you, Kandy. Okay. We're going to shift gears. We're going to go into announcements. Today after church, we're having our annual meeting where we are having our election for new board members. This is available to all current members in good standing. Is there anything else? Do you want to, Shirley, do you want to?
Yes, can I just?
Oh, I know you're all so happy this is the last time I'm going to regale you with annual meeting stuff. First of all, there's been maybe a slight misunderstanding. Anybody can come to the membership meeting. Only members can vote. So if you're not a member and you want to see what happens in a meeting, you're welcome to. Secondly, this is going to work this way. And for you on Zoom, you can vote online, and the voting, you will access the voting through the website, and voting period starts at 11:55 and ends at 12:55. So you have that hour to submit your vote. After the service, everybody leaves the room. We're going to close the doors. And just before noon, Christine will be sitting at the table over here. She will check our membership list, and you will get a ballot, and then you will come in here. And then the meeting will proceed. And it will be fun. I will say this to you, that I posted on the bulletin board the reports of 3 of the committees, teams, if you want to look at them. Also, I have copies of, I have copies of about 17,000 things. If you are interested in I am so sorry. It's like there's something about being up at the podium and you're wanting energy, and all of a sudden your brain goes dead. I'm feeling this joy, and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm a little drunk here.
We got energy.
What?
It's because of Kandy's sermon, we got some energy.
Well, yeah, she did. I was jazzed already. So focus. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. I know I'm taking time. During the meeting, we will introduce the candidates. Then we will ask people to record their vote. There will be a shoebox located someplace for you to put the ballot in. And we have 2 people who will be counting the votes. And just leave the room and go eat your lunch. And when the votes are in, we will resume the meeting and announce who won, and yay. Now, we cannot do this by ourselves. The board cannot do this by themselves. So, in the meeting, you're going to hear me talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we've got a rummage sale coming up the 17th. Rudy is in charge of that. If you have things that you want to bring or the things talk to Rudy. He is the go-to person about rummage sale. This is going to be a huge fundraiser for us. So we want to bring in energy. We want to talk it up. Jim, quickly, please, because I'm going to cut this off here in a minute because we want to do messages.
The worship committee decided a long time ago that items that are listed in the bulletin are to be mentioned on Sunday, just for that week, not the whole list, because people show up if they get a reminder. So this Thursday is the second Thursday of the month, so it's roundtable discussion, online only. I also have 2 Himalayan salt lamps for sale, $12 each. The sign-up sheet is out there for going to the Hindu temple and for Camp Chesterfield. And our trip to Camp Chesterfield will be on May 18th.
Sure, sure. Okay, Zoom folks, we're going to keep the Zoom going after the church service and before the meeting, so just stay online for that. I do want to mention next Saturday is Oracle Card Club. I want to point out the last time nobody showed up, so if nobody shows up, we stop doing it. So just putting that out there.
Is that this Saturday?
Oracle Card Club is always the second Saturday of the month. It starts at 1 o'clock.
I'll be there.
All right, thank you very much. May the grace of the mother surround you. May her strength sustain you. May her healing love fill your soul. And may you know her divine peace. Amen.